change the little things. All right. I hope that's picking up, but that's like an idiot.
It's going to happen again. I can feel it. Hello.
Welcome back to the HNU podcast with your host, Himalay and
Urvashi.
Yes, if you can, please like, subscribe, and share
If you like it.
And also, bell notification if you want to know when we're posting.
Yes, turn on them post notifications, guys.
With that said, enjoy the episode. I want to talk about asking for help. I find it very hard to ask for help with anything. And I don't know if that's an ego thing or it's just growing up every time I have asked. I don't know. I don't know what it is. But do you find it hard to ask for help?
Yeah. I feel like our family is we're very, as individuals, we're very independent. We like to do things on our own. We like to be able to accomplish things on our own. So when it comes to asking for help, we're like, I'd rather try and do it on my own first. It's at least attempt it before we try and go to somebody else. Right. And I feel like I don't know, asking for help, it just seems taboo, cliche. I don't know, it's something that's just, you kind of want to resist asking for help, even when you really need it, which is quite bad. But
something I've learned is there's no harm in asking for help. Even if it is very hard, sometimes I will ask for it when, obviously, last case scenario. Yeah. Sometimes now, let me clarify, I used to find it hard to ask for help.
Okay.
It's now a little bit easier because I know that if I ask earlier, I can get whatever I need done quicker.
100%, yeah.
But before, it was so hard, just even asking, let's say I'm going to take something down the stairs. I can't ask for help. I've got to somehow, for some reason, in my own mind, got to do it myself.
Right. That might even be male expectations, because obviously for men it's you have to be strong, you have to be the example, you have to be able to do things on your own so people can rely on you. And I feel like that obviously it's different for both of us, because I'm used to, if there's something I know I can't carry, I'll try on my own. Yeah. But then I know there's a point where I'm going to be like, Hims, I need your help. Right. When it comes to things like that, I'm very much would I rather throw my back out and try it myself, or would I,
There's no point trying to break your back out first of all, because if you can't actually lift it, what's the point trying?
Exactly. Yeah.
But that's just one aspect of that. Let's say, well, anything to do with school stuff, I always asked for help. That was way too easy for me because I knew that academically I'm not there. I'm just not there. It just clicked to me.
Yeah.
What else is there where I could ask for help, but I didn't? I'm trying to think of a situation. Have you had that? Where you could have just asked for help, but you didn't?
Yeah. So many times. But I think I pin it down to, personally, I have this stubbornness to me that is you can do this on your own, you're going to do it on your own. It's like my independence being you can prove to yourself you can do this, so why don't you do that?
So when is it the point where you're okay, I can't do this myself?
So my example is when I'm moving the chair in my room, the recliner one, it's quite heavy. And it's too big to just push around because there's things in the way. So I have to actually put it onto my bed and then push it over my bed and then let it roll over before I place it somewhere. And after I've cleaned my entire room, that's the last thing I do. And so I'm already tired because I've just cleaned everything else. I've hoovered, done all the other things. This is the hardest part, is to move that chair. Yeah. And there's been so many times where I've still been stubborn about it. I'll get a backache the next day, but I'll be no, at least I did it myself. I didn't bother anybody else. But that's the thing, it wouldn't be bothering someone else because it's easy for them.
I guess that's why I don't ask that often for help as well. But I couldn't because it was that feeling the burden.
Yeah, you don't want to feel like an inconvenience to somebody else.
I guess that works with when you want to ask for help or just talk to someone, but you don't want to talk to them because of the burden. I've definitely felt like that a couple of times where I've spoken to someone and I feel like my mood is contagious sometimes, where if I'm in a bad mood, I don't want to bother anyone else and put it on them. But that's not the case at all. That's just you telling yourself that that's going to happen, but it's not at all. I'm sure that people around you that love you and care for you want to be there for you and help you.
100%, yeah. It's just a matter of like, do you feel, is it comfortable enough to approach them with like everything you're feeling? Because you have to be able to have that, like, am I comfortable enough and confident enough to go to this one person to be able to unload all of my whatever's going on in my head and whatnot? Because sometimes you'll find if you go to the wrong person, that'll also make you shy away from going to other people that you should be able to go to. And it's like sometimes one bad experience is like, okay, well, I'm never going to try that again.
I see that happening. That is a problem.
Yeah. But again, it comes down to who you're talking to, how much you trust them. You know, like you should know the person you're going to. If you bring a certain thing up, like say you're going through something and you're like, can I talk to this? Can I talk to you about this real quick? Like, or something's on my mind. I'm just going to like, unleash it. See how, it comes to reaction. We always talk about how you react, but it's true. If someone reacts negatively to something that you're saying, it kind of puts you off. Or like if you're excited about something and you don't get the reaction you expect, that also can put you off. You're like, oh, okay, I guess it wasn't as big of a deal as I wanted it to be, Or
a big of a deal for them.
Yeah.
As you thought it would have been.
Because then it makes you question, well, how much do I mean to this person? If my success isn't making them happy. So you kind of like, not dig yourself a hole, but you start to overthink about things. Like,
definitely overthink is the right word to use.
Yeah.
Just like a lot of things that you think is happening, but it's actually not. Just the overthinking mind.
Oh, yeah. When you start to catch yourself spiraling. But yeah, I think, what do you think helped you see that you can ask for help, and the sooner you do it, the more it'll just help you out?
It was just sitting in that uncomfort of asking, because it was always uncomfortable for me. But the only way for it to not feel uncomfortable is to keep asking. Not just one person, the same person all the time, but anyone. Just for anything.
Yeah.
That's what stopped me.
Yeah. I always make sure that whatever it is, it won't be as big of a deal to the other person. Like, for example, the chair. Like, if I told you to move my chair, you wouldn't really care at the end of the day. You should just do it and walk away, you know? Like, that, as much as in my head, I'm like, oh, wow, like, now I have to disturb him and, like, do all this. In your mind, it's like, oh, it's calm. I just have to go downstairs and move a chair.
Yeah.
You know? Like, once you see the other side of it, it's almost like, oh, it's not as bad as I thought, you know? So getting over it and being like, okay, can you please help me?
Yeah, again, with the uncomfort of doing that, of asking.
Yeah.
Just getting over that by just doing it.
I know some people get anxiety. I know a couple of times in my past where I've almost got anxiety, like when I'm going to ask for help or going to tell someone, I almost feel guilty before I even do it because I'm like, oh shit, this was on me. Why am I like...
Oh, the burden thing again.
Yeah. So it's like, in order to get over that, I just have to just say it as it was, like, I'm sorry that I have to ask you of this, but... And it's most of the time it's not even that deep.
You're being honest with it. You genuinely need help with whatever it is, or just speaking to someone about how you're feeling. They'll be able to feel that and see that.
Yeah.
But going back to what you said, where you don't know if that person is going to react, the wrong way or the right way. I guess there is no wrong or right. It's just the way they react.
And how that makes you feel.
But yeah, and how that makes you feel.
Yeah.
What do you do when you're unsure or something?
I like to think through the options. And I think something that one of the guests we had on the show, Harmon, what he said about there's not only two directions. Like, when he was talking about left or right, and then somebody told him, what about up and down? Like, you've got multiple choices and options. And that kind of stuck with me after he said it, because I was like, that's a different way of thinking. It's like, well, you do have multiple options. Yeah. You just need to be able to recognize them and then, explore them.
It's just, just recognize it, but also being open-minded about it. Because, like you said, you can either think, oh, just left or right, but what about the up and down? What about diagonal?
Yeah.
It's being open-minded that helps you to see that.
100%, yeah. Yeah, and so I've kind of thought about, like, when I am unsure, I kind of, like, pin it down to, like, the why. Why am I unsure about this? If it's a decision, then it's like, okay, well, if you're leaning towards a yes or a no, you can find that out. And I remember you said something about flipping a coin.
Yeah, I mean, when I'm unsure about something very small sometimes, where it'd be like, I'd get home from work and it'd be a long day. Now, usually I'd just get changed, go to the gym. Sometimes I have to flip a coin. Because I'm trying to listen to my body.
Yeah.
And sometimes my body says, don't do it. You gotta rest, you gotta recover. And you gotta listen to your body sometimes. But also sometimes you wanna be a madman and go for it.
True.
So I'd be in those moods where I wanna work out, but I know that I shouldn't. Because my body's like, just chill out, really. Like, come on. And I'd be like, okay, let me flip a coin. Heads I go, tails I don't. And then whatever I feel after that is just the way it is.
Right.
And I stick with that decision. That's the main thing. Just sticking to that decision once you flip that coin. Because then you don't have to think about it after.
You're like, okay, well, that's done. Yeah.
Next, on to whatever else you want to do during the day. Whatever it is.
Yeah, that's a good way of thinking about it. It does stem down to how you're feeling about certain things. Because I tend to procrastinate a lot, as we all know. And so when it comes to things, I have to do it, and I'll have a long list of things to do, and I'm unsure, like, what should I do first? Because I know I have to get a lot done. I'll tend to go for the things that I find relaxation in, or that'll be therapeutic for me. Yeah. So, like, washing the dishes, I find that so therapeutic. So I'm constantly like, okay, the first thing I'm going to do, wash the dishes. That's what I did today. I was like, I've got a long list of things to do. What am I going to do? Wash the dishes. While I've got a bit of free time, let me get that done first. And that way, it's not just like helping myself out. I'm helping mum out as well, and like, you know, keeping the kitchen clean and whatever. And so it feels good in all ways because I'm making mum happy. I'm making myself happy because I feel like the therapy's coming, you know, and I'm getting something done, checked off my list. So I got that done first. And now I tend to, whenever the hard things are coming, which they're not even that hard, it's just like long, you know. Yeah. I'm just like, I'll do that at the end. You know, I never think, oh, let me get that done first, which is the mentality I'm trying to get to. But I'm like, I'll do that next. Yeah.
Yeah, getting the hard thing done first and then making the day easier for yourself definitely is the best way to do it. It's not the only way, and it's also preference. But I personally like getting the hard shit done first. Or it doesn't have to be hard. For example, like, I know I've said this before, but sorting your bed out in the morning. It's not a hard thing, but it's the first task done.
That's the one thing I'll never not do is sort my bed out.
Right.
It's almost like I'm in such a habit of it, I don't even think about it. That's like how my bed is always.
I think it becomes a problem when you've done it, but you don't acknowledge that you've done it. That you don't acknowledge that you've actually done one task in the day. Like, that is a task. And I'm not saying you should be fucking over the moon about it, but at least know that you've done it and be like, okay, cool, what's the next task?
To acknowledge it, yeah. I think I've got to the point where I've passed the fact that I've acknowledged it.
Yeah, even you just do it. It's just automatic. And that's the same with me.
Yeah, I mean, maybe I should stop and think, okay, I've actually done a little bit.
Definitely, because it's a good way to start the day, at least.
100%. I can feel like, even when I'm doing like my morning routine and stuff, the thing's kicking in that, oh, you have to do this, this, and this, and this. Quick, rush. And so it's like, if I'm rushing myself constantly, I'm not enjoying the fact that that is me time. I'm sorting myself out, you know, I'm getting ready, I'm investing time into me. But instead it seems like, oh no, rush, come on, quickly, clean your retainers, get your brush done, do this, do that, you know, constantly onto the next thing, skincare. And then it's like, okay, get changed, leave the house. Yeah. So it's like very rushed. So I'm starting to realise the earlier I wake up, the more time I can spend with myself.
What? No way.
Yeah, I'm waking up at 6 a.m. every day, guys.
Well, do you know what annoys me? But I understand you're on your own process. You have your own way of processing things. I've said this many times before. Wake up earlier, even with buses and stuff, and getting on coaches and trains and stuff like that.
Yeah, but that stuff I do it when it comes to like I have an appointment or something. I do it
now.
I do. Yeah. Oh my God, I do. Yeah.
That's good then.
There's still sometimes the odd 1 or 2 times where I'm like late because of traffic or something. But that's like kind of out of my control. If I've got out
the traffic
early.
And stuff is. Well,
yeah.
If you get out early enough and then the traffic hits, you know that you've got that cushion because you've woke up earlier.
Yeah. And
you are going to get there maybe a little late, but at least earlier than you would have.
Yeah. 100%. I mean, I remember one of the last things I was late to, it was quite annoying because I got up earlier. I had done everything else earlier, you know, like, and then I got outside. This was last year, like a couple months back, probably in December. So like last month. And I get outside and my car is frozen over. I'm like, I was about to be early and now I'm going to be late. And I could feel it. I was like, I know I'm going to be late because like the roads were icy as well. So I had to drive slow. And so I was like, okay, well, first of all, I rang the person or the people I had the appointment with. And I was like, I'm so sorry, but my car got iced in. I'm going to have to sort it out before I leave. Otherwise, I can't leave. And they were like, it's fine. Let us know a ballpark of what time you're going to get here. I did so. And then started, getting the ice off my car. And I used a magnet for it. Because we didn't even have the de-icer back then. But now we do have a de-icer, thankfully.
Yeah, a month later.
Yeah, a month later when I don't need it. Well, this
you
week
will
I
need
might.
it. You will definitely need it. Have you been in your car today? Have you looked at your car?
I've seen my car today. The snow.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Well, we'll see what happened. That is because apparently the storms and that have been happening in the US, all the winds are blowing over to us now. We're not going to get it as bad, but we're going to feel it.
No wonder why it's freezing.
Yeah, we're going to feel it.
Yeah.
For sure.
That wind is like, I almost flew away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What were we talking about?
I went on a tangent. But yeah, no, I do wake up earlier now. I have got to that realization where if I want time for myself and I want to do things like slower or like enjoy the process more, instead of constantly thinking about, oh shit, rush.
Yeah.
Give yourself enough time to be able to not have to rush, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are you most secure about in life?
My family. That's what I'm most secure about. Because I know they're going to be there for me every step of the way, no matter what I do.
Right.
And so, yeah, that's something I can 100% have confidence in. And that's crazy because I know a lot of people that can't say that, you know? Like, hand on heart, my family's going to be there for me no matter what. And it's just, it is overwhelming because when you, like, really deep it, it's like, wow, I have X amount of people that are really rooting for me and, like, actually love me for who I am, regardless of what I'm doing or what I'm not doing. So it's like, okay, that's cool. Do everything you're doing with them in mind too, you know? Like, you want to make them proud. You also want to keep doing what you're doing, but keep them people in mind. It's like when they I remember hearing about, I think it was in a comedy show, but it was about when you get good news, who's the first person you want to share it with, right? Who's the first person you want to call? Think about that list of people or that first person
who's
or whatever.
Who's the first person?
Mum. 100%, hands down. It's always going to be mum.
I don't know whose mine is. I don't have anyone. Genuinely don't have anyone that I'd call first.
But you do like group FaceTime calls, it right?
Yeah, I guess I do.
So like that is your group. That's like your initial.
But then again, who's the group? Who have I got? Actually, no. Who have I got? The first person who I'd call. Do you know what? I'm a bit weird. With good news like that, I don't tell anyone. Until I meet the person, whoever I'm going to meet first, in person. Like, oh shit, yeah, I got this, or this happened. And like, oh shit, sick.
That's cool that you give yourself the time to enjoy it yourself.
Myself, yeah. I want to soak it in and actually acknowledge it because not growing up, but just school, college, work, any of those things, I've never enjoyed it for myself, and I've always done it for others. Always done it for others because going back to that seeking the approval, I've always done it for others, and I think now I don't want to share the news like that. Okay. I want to keep it to myself, and like you said, just enjoy it myself and actually acknowledge that I've done something.
Yeah, that'll benefit you. That you wanted to do. Yeah, I get that.
Yeah, but going back to the secure.
Yeah.
I sort of read the question differently.
Okay.
Being secure in who I am.
So being
about life, just being who I am.
Okay.
A lot of people can't say that, I don't think. And there are times where I'll feel like I don't know who I am. However, I think that's just a part of life.
Yeah.
Of losing who you are a little bit and then finding yourself again. There's
a beauty in rediscovering who you are, though. It's like, oh, that's where you are. Like, I forgot you for a second.
Yeah. But definitely me. I'm secure in who I am.
That's good, as you should be. Yeah, I'm secure in who I am too.
Yeah. We can't have two answers. I'm joking.
All right, then. Back to family then, guys.
No one has actually figured anything out in life. No one's figured out life. Let's put it that way.
Yep.
I don't think you can. And I don't think you should chase trying to figure out life. Because you never will.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of facades going on. And it's like, no matter who you look at, whether it's a celebrity or your role model, you don't know, like, what they've been through or what they're crying about behind closed doors. Like, the things in their personal daily life that they are struggling with or dealing with that they may never disclose to the public or whatever, because that's their private life, you know? It's the same as, like, anyone and everyone has their days, you know? Not everybody's perfect 100% all the time.
Yeah.
Or even perfection, like chasing perfection. That's just like a whole... Perfection doesn't exist. It's an idea, you know? Everybody has their own idea of what's perfection.
Yeah.
And as much as nobody's perfect, I think everybody's close to it, you know? Everybody's close to their own idea of perfection.
I think it's imperfections that make someone perfect.
100%, yeah.
Like you said, it's an idea. The perfectionism, being perfect, it's an idea. And everybody has, like you said, their idea or their opinion or their way of seeing perfection. And so those imperfections are the things that people will see more, or your person will see more. By your person, I mean the person that you spend the most time with.
Yeah. There's beauty in the imperfections, and that's what makes it, like, all the flaws is what makes you perfect.
Yeah.
Or an idea of perfect. Yeah. Yeah, nobody has anything figured out. As much as you can look at a person and be like, they've got it all.
Yeah.
They're perfect.
That's right. It looks nice. From the outside looking in, oh crap, they're having a wicked life. I want that life.
Mm-hmm. You never know what's going on in the inside.
Yeah.
That's why, like, also when people are quick to judge, just, like, take a step back. Before you judge someone, try and get to know them a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Or even treating someone a certain way. You don't know how much they've gone through or what they are going through at that moment.
Yeah.
I've always been the one to be kind first to anyone.
Yeah.
Because
it's the best way to be as well.
Yeah, but also it's not, I don't think about it. It's just the way I am. Of just being nice first. Even if they don't come across as being nice, then again, I'm not going to react like an arsehole. I'm not going to allow them to choose how I think and how I feel about it. No.
That's good. You keep in control.
If you're reacting that way, then cool, man.
That's on you.
Then I'll just stay well away from you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I see that. It's almost like it's not even something you think about, like, oh, this is a new person, I'm going to be nice to them. It's almost like, well, there's no other way I know how to be. You know, that's just who I am. Yeah.
Kill him with kindness.
Hey.
I'm not the type, I used to back in the day, I'm not the type to play games on my phone anymore. But the games that you used to play back in the day would probably be... I think we've talked about this, actually.
Games on your phone?
Yeah, I feel like we have.
I think we did in the early ones, or like the audio ones. So I don't think anybody really
maybe, yeah, maybe. No, I don't play games right now. No.
Okay,
Do you have games?
I have got a couple games on my phone, but mainly it's either got to be the iMessage games or Snapchat games.
Oh, okay. No, then in that case, yeah, I do have games like that. Like the Pigeon... What's it called?
Pigeon?
Pigeon?
It has got Pigeon in it, but I don't remember what it's called.
Hold on, what's it called? It's called... It's on iMessage, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is it going to say?
It
just says games. Oh, well. Well, they're the main ones that I get. I'll play randomly every now and then.
I have 8-Ball Pool on my phone as well. Yeah.
That was a classic. Did you ever go on like Mini Clip or...
Oh, yeah.
What else was there?
Do you remember the block game in Mini Clip?
Oh, yeah, Bloxers.
Yeah.
That was wicked. What level do you remember? What level you could
I have no clue.
I think I'm like 57, and I was so obsessed with the game that I used to save the number where you know what to get back on. Mate, that was an addictive game.
You guys used to play this game as well, where there was a stick man, and then there was it was like a drawing. Do you remember? And then there was you
Right.
go up, there's levels, and then things moves, and you got to try and get him to the top.
No, I don't remember.
You guys, it was like Stickman, but I don't know what it's called. Yeah, but that was fun. I got addicted.
We used to play Tank Game. I don't know if it's just called Tank. That was a mini clip as well, where you'd have 2 tanks on each side. It's a multiplayer game. You have to angle it a certain way, and there was a wind. You had to take in consideration the wind and all that stuff.
Mini clip was sick. I don't care what anybody says.
It still is, I guess. I don't know. I've never. I don't know if it's
been on
closed or
it.
not.
I've not been on it for a while.
Oh, Club Penguin.
Oh, Club Penguin,
Wicked.
Sims.
Sims was not on it,
Sims
but Sims was a really good. But did you actually play Sims?
Yeah, I did.
On what?
I remember playing with a couple of our cousins, and we made our own person with our names combined.
Oh, fair.
And then it was just funny.
We
but
were evil on Sims, you know. We had the first Sims that we ever got, me Kish, was Sims Complete Collection. And it wasn't me and Kish, it was probably me and Ritz and D. We'd make a character, put him in a room, pause it, get rid of the door, and then they'd suffocate and die.
What the hell?
And then we'd make barriers in the back garden, and every night around 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, they'd come alive because they're ghosts.
Oh my god!
Yeah, we were fucking weird. I don't know why. It was fun for us.
So weird. Oh my god. Imagine that was a simulation. That's just what you guys are doing.
Maybe this is a simulation. Maybe this world is a simulation.
Maybe.
I like to think it is. Come on, man. There's too many
dodgy things going on.
dodgy things going on. Silly things.
To that I say, whether it's a simulation or not, just enjoy life. You know? You're alive. Appreciate it.
Yeah, acknowledge it.
Exactly.
Okay, question of the day. What do you promise yourself?
I promise myself to always try my best and to always be there for myself, regardless of the outcome.
Mm-hmm.
What do you promise yourself?
I promise myself that I will continue to push the person that I want to be. Definitely, yeah.
I respect that.
There you go.
Right, guys, that's been the episode. We hope you enjoyed it.
Yes.
Please like and subscribe and share
If you like it.
And don't forget to put on the post notifications.
Yeah, man. Okay.
Bye.
Goodbye.
See you next week.